Okay, so I am going to get ready. Jim, you ready?
I am ready. Go ahead anytime.
Perfect. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Caltrans Career Connections for fall of 2025. This is our third episode for this, our third for this semester. I'm going to go ahead and share our screen, and then we are going to get the ball rolling for everything today. So let me just get something set up real quick, and we'll be good to roll. Okay, 1 second. Your audio. Where'd it go? Keep sharing the wrong screen for some reason.
There it is.
There we go. There it is. All right. Actually, let's swap it. Let's go to the other one. Now it's sharing. Perfect. We're back.
Looks beautiful, Russell.
Perfect. All right. All right, everybody. So once again, welcome to Caltrans Career Connections for the fall of 2025. My name, let me just, oh, why does it not want to move now?
Oh, no.
No, yeah, it does. It was doing this earlier when I was trying to set it up too.
This is because we chose a Monday.
Probably. Probably.
This never happens on a Tuesday or Wednesday, you guys.
Let's get the technical difficulties out the way. And it's crazy because earlier during our testing, everything was fine.
All right. While Russell gets us going, everybody. Oh, we're good?
We're good, right?
We're good.
Perfect. There we go. All right. So my name, once again, you guys, is Russell Calvin. I am the virtual engagement and platform coordinator over here with Caltrans. I've been with the state for about 4 years now. Megan and I both work in recruitment. Love it, honestly. Been here for 4 years, and we pretty much just do this. This is something that we master in, and we primarily focus on, which is the virtual engagement and things on the virtual side. So Megan, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little fun fact.
Fun fact. Okay. Starting off strong. My name is Megan Aziz. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I graduated with a degree in anthropology from California State University. So stingers up for anybody who's in the chat. Fun fact, I love a good conspiracy. Bigfoot is real, in my opinion. He's out there.
Did I ever tell? I'll have to tell you the story next time. I saw, like, I met a guy at a gas station one time that he does it. He hunts Bigfoot every week.
I need his number.
So for everyone joining us today we're going to have Jennifer Davalos as our subject matter expert. Jennifer studied geology. In her previous job, she was an environmental scientist. She decided to go back to school to pursue surveying and is currently in her 3rd semester at Sac City College. She's been a student assistant with Caltrans in the Office of Land Surveyors for the past 7 months, and she lives in South Sac with her husband and 2 cats. One of them, I believe, has been making an appearance in today's camera for Jennifer. Her favorite summer activity was going to the American River to paddleboard. Did I miss anything, Jennifer? Okay, cool. So just a couple of housekeeping rules and agenda for today. We're going to take a little bit of time for you guys to know a little bit about our department, who we are, what we do, some of our opportunities that we offer. And then I'll speak to Jennifer to kind of give you guys some insight on what it's like to be a student assistant with us, as well as the things that she's learning through surveying. So I'll be giving some information on both land surveying and being a student assistant as well. And then once again, like I said, just to go over a couple of housekeeping rules, please you guys utilize the chat for all questions that you guys might have during the session. Megan will be dropping some links in there as well. Although not all of your questions will be answered, some of them she might hold off until the question and answer or Q&A section towards the end. So we will do our best to get to everybody's questions in a timely manner, but utilize that chat box, take a look at it, because Megan will be dropping some links in there that'll be useful for everyone. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and play a little video for us, and we can get started.
Ready to embark on a career that combines technology, innovation, and a Ready to embark on a career that combines technology, innovation, and a positive impact on the environment and community? Look no further than Caltrans, the California Department of Transportation. Join us as we explore some of the state-of-the-art technologies that we are incorporating into our projects to engineer the future of transportation. Safety is our top priority. We believe that using drones is a game changer in ensuring safer roads for everyone. Surveying hazardous areas, inspecting bridges and tunnels, and assessing road conditions without putting workers at unnecessary risk is a great advantage. Our acquisition of state-of-the-art UAS unmanned aircraft system technology allows us to be in multiple places at once, access high-risk areas safely, and fly instantly from anywhere. We are one of the first departments of transportation in the nation to utilize this equipment. With over 100 trained drone pilots statewide, we are revolutionizing the way we utilize technology, allowing us to make informed decisions that lead to improved safety measures and faster response times. Piloting the use of augmented reality helps us to visualize a new roadway, structure, utility, or feature in the actual dimensional space upon which it will be built. We're work zone ready with well-equipped lighting on hard hats, ensuring the visibility of our field workers is not compromised and giving us the ability to assess work sites at all hours of the day. We aim to provide a safe and reliable transportation network that serves all people and respects the environment while honoring our values of engagement, equity, innovation, integrity, and pride. At Caltrans, your career options are limitless. We provide comprehensive job rotation programs, mentorship opportunities, and a supportive work environment that encourages personal and professional growth. Whether you're an aspiring engineer, a tech enthusiast, or a community-driven individual, Caltrans has the perfect path to start your career. Do yourself a favor. Come and join us. You would make us better.
Cool. So as you guys could see from the video, kind of we're talking about it and they mentioned it on there that working for the state of California is pretty cool because your opportunities are statewide. So you can start all the way up there towards the Oregon border up north, and then you can go all the way down south as close as the Mexico border down in San Diego County. So it's a vast array of areas that you can go ahead and work in. On this map right here, it's going to show you guys how Caltrans is split up, which is into 12 different districts. Within those 12 districts, we manage more than 50,000 miles of California's freeways and highway lanes and intercity rail services. permit more than 400 public use airports and special use hospital heliports, and work with local agencies. Caltrans also carries out a mission with 6 primary programs: aeronautics, highway transportation, mass transportation, transportation planning, administration, and equipment services center. As you guys can see, like I said, up at the top, you have District 1 and 2, with area headquarters in like Eureka and Redding, and down towards the bottom, we have District 11, with San Diego and Imperial County. So just to do a quick little pulse check, what districts is everybody kind of looking at getting hired into, or what districts are you guys kind of curious about applying to? Go ahead and drop that down in the group chat.
Right off the bat, we have a 7, a couple of 7s, and an 8, and a 12.
7, 8, 12.
So Los
So
Angeles,
LA,
7 area.
LA, San Bernardino, and then that's, I mean, that area gets a lot of look at too, right? Because they're so also so close, for some, especially the San Bernardino into LA. I know we do a lot of work down there whenever we go for like recruitment events. What else are you seeing on there, Megan?
We've got a couple of Sacramento's, got to represent.
Headquarters too.
Well, 3. We
Okay.
also have a couple of 4s I'm seeing, which is pretty interesting. I feel like that isn't the Bay Area. And then somebody in here is saying 1 through 12, which I can appreciate.
I can appreciate that. Yeah. Get into whatever district you have an opportunity. So fun fact, you guys, Caltrans headquarters is in Sacramento. That is where the 3 of us are located. So myself, Megan, and Jennifer are located in Sacramento out of our headquarters office. And then we have over 5,000 employees in just the headquarters area. This is then followed by District 4 and District 7 with a bit of over 2,500 workers. So Oakland, Greater Bay Area, which is District 4, and LA County or LA Ventura area, those come second to headquarters for size and amount of employees that we have. So this is our why. So Caltrans has a mission of improving lives and communities through transportation. And our vision is a thriving and connected California. We plan on doing these things and kind of achieving a lot of our goals by focusing on safety first, cultivating excellence, which means kind of just developing our own people and getting them from any level and just helping them grow in their career fields. Jennifer has a great opportunity with that as being a student assistant and having an opportunity to see the growth and develop her career moving forward from there. Enhancing connect the multimodal transportation network, leading climate action and advance equity and livability in all communities. So a couple things before we get into speaking to Jennifer about her time with us is Caltrans Surveyor. So what makes Caltrans Surveys unique? Caltrans Surveys is multifaceted professional opportunities for our department surveyors in the following fields: preliminary mapping, construction, cadastral, photogrammatic surveying, and then GPS and geodetic control networks. I think the thing with that I had spoken to a couple of other people about Caltrans surveying and what makes it so unique is like that work-life balance. From what I heard from a lot of the surveyors, are like, hey, sometimes we experience, in the private sector, you're doing some of the same things, but balancing out that work-life balance in terms of like time frames when you're on and off the clock. That was a big thing that I had spoken to a couple of other surveyors about. And that's like the main thing that they always spoke to me about. I know Jennifer is going to go into some of our work-life balance here in a bit once we talk about things with the questions. So I'll just go ahead and get on over to the next one and we will start off. Ready to answer some questions, Jen? All right. So first question I have for you is, I know you said you were working as an environmental scientist before you went back to school, right? Why surveying? Like what kind of got you to go from environmental scientist into land surveying?
Yeah, so I originally studied geology and I received my bachelor's and master's from Sacramento State. And I started
Megan
off,
Stinger's up.
yeah, I started off as an intern at a different department, and then I became an environmental scientist, and I had a good time there, but I developed chronic pain due to like a lot of computer work. So, so I left that job. And through workers' comp, I received money to go back to school. So when I was looking through the Sac City classes, I came across surveying. And I had remembered that I had one lab in my surficial processes class where we had to do like a little topographic map of a river levee. So we used the total station. And so that's kind of how I heard about surveying first. And so yeah, so I decided to take that first class and I really liked it. I liked that there was probably going to be more of an office computer balance, so like less hands with computer work. And so yeah, it's my third semester at Sac City, and that's how I got into surveying.
Now when you obviously it's a little bit different, right? So you applying for the state, Megan and I we go over that a little bit different, but applying as a student assistant is different than applying at the state. What was your experience like trying to get into applying for the state for as a student assistant? Like, was it a long process? Was it a short process? Did you have to jump through a lot of hoops and ladders? Like, because being honest, I've never applied as a student assistant.
Mhm.
So what does it look like to apply as a student assistant for the application process?
Yeah, so I actually got the link from my surveying professor. So this was like around Christmas time last year, and I didn't hear back until like February of this year. And so I got called in for the interview, and I got the job like the next day. And I didn't expect it because, first of all, like the application said that they wanted someone that had AutoCAD skills, and I had zero AutoCAD skills at that point. And then I felt like the interview went pretty bad for me. But anyways, I still got hired. And so I think from the offer, I think started working in March, so like 1 month after that. So I'd say it was more of a waiting thing, and it just kind of sort of fell on my lap. But I think it really did help with my professor's reference to get the job and
Yeah. So it sounds like so you had a little bit of waiting, but like from interview to hiring, it was like quick,
yeah,
right? You literally, and then doing the paperwork, obviously, because
yeah.
that does take a little bit of time to get the paperwork done and stuff like that. How was your first day in office? Like your first day in office would just went straight in?
Yeah, it was good. It was just again the paperwork and like getting your computer and all that.
Yeah.
Um, and it was through the UEI website, so it wasn't through CalCareers.
Cal careers, right? Right.
So yeah, I do remember how to do a cover letter and a statement of qualifications, and then like other attachments like resume.
Mhm. But overall, it wasn't too stressful. Like it was
Yeah,
just
it
like you
wasn't
said,
that.
just wait, just the waiting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because being that you were a full-time employee with the state, so you've done that application process versus the application process with the student assistant. Would you say that they're completely separate entities and that what
Um,
would you say the main difference is?
I think UEI was definitely easier because there's one less item to deal with. The CalCareers you had to do like another extra application,
Mhm.
Mhm.
which yeah, scientific aids and like environmental scientists and like other stuff at CalCareers versus like student assistant.
Just student assistant side.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
So like everybody always wants to know, right? Like what does a day in the life kind of look like for you? And I know each day can be different. Um, but in general, like what do you like? Are you doing a lot of stressful tasks? Is it pretty relaxed and chill? What does a normal day in the life kind of generally look for you once you get into the office, besides like waking up and getting ready and stuff?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, so I work in headquarters, and so one of the tasks that we have is to um, basically supply the rest of the districts with surveying equipment. So that's kind of the main thing that I work on is the inventory side of things. So like receiving equipment, packing it up and then shipping it out, and then also dealing with databases with the inventory. So like for example, if an equipment gets lost or stolen, like I have to make sure that it's no longer in the database, and also keeping track of all the folders of like stolen and lost items. And then I've also written a couple of guides for certain equipment and programs.
Okay, so then you're basically keeping inventory of like the drones?
So basically everything like you see in that picture, like the
The
total
light,
station, the
the
little,
total station, the
yeah, the tripod. So anything from like a tiny antenna to like a really expensive equipment. So
dang, so you knew when I had all of the stuff down in LA for the school event when I went down there with Mark Counts. We had a couple of different things. So you probably had inventory on all of that stuff when we were down there, showcasing it all. Like I think we had like two or three drones and a couple of the lidar detectors things. So that's a lot to actually keep track of. I should say between what's in the field and what's actually still in inventory.
Mhm. And obviously like I'm a student assistant, so like it's just, assisting my immediate boss. Like he deals with all the malfunctions, like people call him when stuff breaks down or
Mhm.
lost. So I don't do super high level stuff yet. But so yeah, just assisting inventory people.
But I guess that's the cool thing, right? Because most of the time, everybody thinks that once you're being a student assistant with us, like they're basically like, "Hey, can you go get me coffee? Can you like go
No.
just check the mail?" And
Mhm.
like they think it's just a couple of things here and there, like go to the copy machine and get me 100 copies of this or something like that. But you're actually getting some kind of like you're doing some work that people would normally do
Mhm.
inside of the office, which I think breaks that stereotype that everybody normally thinks a student assistant or an intern would do um, at a big company like us.
Like copies is still a thing. You still have to make copies sometimes, but like getting people's coffee, like everybody's very respectful and like everything. So yeah.
Um, so how flexible are your work hours? Like I mean, you said you're still going to school. Um, are they pretty flexible with you? Like, what do you? How many hours are you working a week? What does it kind of look like for your work schedule?
Yeah, so everybody currently teleworks on average like two times. No, everybody goes into the office twice a week.
Hmm.
It might change in the summer, but that's one way it's flexible. So I, telework from home 2 days, one full day and then one half day. And then I go into the office one full day and one half day.
Hmm.
And excuse me, I'm only required to work 24 hours a week. So it's not a full-time job. And I also take time off during like midterms and finals because it can be kind of stressful when studying and also dealing with work.
Hmm.
And then
Is it
sometimes,
pretty?
huh?
Sorry, is it pretty easy to like get the time off? Like, is it like, do you have to submit your schedule change during midterms like far
Yeah.
ahead?
So I just have to let my supervisor know like a week in advance to take time off.
Okay, so
Or like
but
the,
it's real easy.
yeah. So I think probably one of the things that kind of sucks about UEI, sorry, is
No,
just
you're
that
good.
with the timesheets, I have to put alarms to remember to like clock in and out because if you like go past like your lunch break, like they kind of give you a warning and stuff.
But that's through UEI, right? That's not
Yeah.
necessarily a Caltrans. That's just through
Yeah.
UEI's, because
Yeah.
they're
So
the
that's
ones doing your checks.
yeah, because that's kind of like the more official thing, but other than that, you just talk to your supervisor if, school's getting busy, so you need time off and sort of thing.
That's cool. So then they'll allow you to kind of take the time off to do your midterms and do everything like that and
Yeah.
make sure all that's situated.
And then
That's cool.
sometimes there's some like downtime, so like I've done like listening to lectures and like homework in between like tasks, so that's also kind of nice.
That's cool. Yeah. So what projects have you kind of worked on or like are you working on um so far in like the 7 months that you've been with us? I know you were saying you've been doing some of the inventory stuff. Any cool projects or any major projects that you've been
Yeah, so one of
part of?
the guides that I worked on was a pretty interesting project. So I had to do a guide with Trimble Connect. Trimble is the company of the data collectors, and the Connect is basically like a cloud functionality that the data collectors have. So I had to write a guide on how to use that, just so that you could transfer stuff from the data collector to the office, and then from the office to the data collector, and then you don't have to use flash drives with it. And so my coworker and I also went to a Caltrans lab and we tested it out in the field. So that was pretty cool to be able to, do
What
stuff in the field with the equipment.
what how far was the lab from headquarters?
In 20 minutes, it wasn't that far away.
Wasn't too bad. So you got to step out of the office, go into the field and kind of
Yeah, so I worked on that project, and then hopefully it'll get released to everybody so that people can use the Cloud Connect.
very cool. Megan, I think I saw a question in there. Was that question directed towards Jennifer?
Yes, one just popped up. What do you think helped you in getting this position, and what kind of skill set?
Yeah, I guess just the recommendation from my professor probably helped a lot. And then I guess my experience as an environmental scientist. But I mean, you can talk about schoolwork as well. Like, I mean, a lot of the times it's about, writing research papers or like writing essays for, English lit or whatever. So you can just bring up any items in the interview.
Got you.
Your student assistant position, I'm sure on the UAI website specified certain degrees that you were studying, right? So it said like the student assistant needs to be studying land surveying. Was that correct?
Yeah, I think that one did say land surveying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So because I do know most of the time from what I have spoken to some people, I guess this goes down to with my next question where I was going to ask you about tips and advice for potential applicants. I guess it would be just to double check on when you're looking at those uh, opportunities to just make sure that your degree meets what they're looking for, right? Because you, like Megan said, you probably saw it right off the bat that it was asking for a land surveying degree or like something comparable to that, which helped you get the position.
Mhm.
Do you have any tips?
Yeah, sorry, I was going to talk about something else, but I forgot what it was. Something
Oh,
else.
you're good.
Yeah, I forgot. Okay.
No, you're good. If it comes up later on, just
Yeah.
feel free to go ahead. But yeah, any tips for potential applicants?
Yeah, so I would also look into scientific aid positions just because I've had that job before too. Well, that is with Cal Careers, and the student assistant was with UEA. Okay, I remember now. So for the student assistant jobs, you need to have 6 units of classes. So you're not supposed to, like, it's okay if you're not a full-time student.
Soon.
I didn't know that. So yeah, part-time works too.
Yeah.
And I guess also like read through the application because like I said, sometimes they require a cover letter and a statement of qualifications. And a statement of qualifications is basically just a set of questions that they have on the application. So make sure that you answer them and even like write them out. Sometimes they have like specific things they want, like font or like size font. So make sure that you read through that. And I guess like don't be afraid to apply. Like I was nervous about like my chronic pain and also the AutoCAD, but I was still able to get the job. And so yeah, just like it doesn't hurt to just apply. It's pretty much
Just cool. All right. Thank you, Jennifer, for answering those questions. We'll reach back out to you because I know there's probably more questions inside the chat that people are going to be wanting to ask. But for now, we're going to go over to the next slide and we'll reach back
Thank
out
you.
to you. Or if you have any input on any of these next slides, feel free to kind of chime in. All right. So Jennifer kind of started leading into this, but the student assistant position in itself, how to qualify for it, kind of what it looks like. So the student assistant positions, in order to qualify for it, you must maintain eligibility by being enrolled in 6 semester units. So as she said, you don't necessarily have to be a full-time student. So if you're enrolled in 6 semester units and have a 2.0 GPA, you can qualify for being a student assistant. You would work 1,500 hours in a 12-month period. And then during the school year, you can work up to 24 hours per week. During the break, you can work up to 40 hours per week. So I think Jen kind of noted to that where she was like, during the summer, her schedule will change, but then during the school year, she'll work up to those 24 hours a week. You must be a California resident in order to qualify. And then you must be, your school must be affiliated with UEI because it is a UEI program. And then for all of the questions on that, you can do HQ Student Assistant Program at dot.ca.gov. Now, the other way to qualify for a lot of these positions with us, or even to just kind of gain some experience, is through the volunteer program. With the volunteer program, you must be 16 years or older. You network and get hands-on experience. So you really are doing very similar things that student assistants would be doing, as well as anybody with jobs inside their field. You just would be as a volunteer versus a UEI or student assistant or a youth aide or something like that. Experience qualifies for minimum qualifications when you're applying, so you can use that experience on your application. You do not need to be a U.S. citizen for the volunteer program, and I-9 clearance is necessary to verify your work eligibility. So what do we offer? Jen kind of talked about it a little bit, but this is where Megan and I will kind of go over a couple of things for you guys. Benefits. Once you do become an employee with Caltrans, not through UEI, but through Caltrans in itself, the state, you will be getting your medical, dental, and vision. You will be working towards your retirement, which does include a pension and potentially a 401k. You do have some work-life balance and a flexible work schedule as well. I myself work 9/8/80s, which means I get every other Monday off, which is great for me. So instead of working 5 days a week, I do a rotating schedule of 9/8/80s and have every other Monday off. Megan, are you on 9/8/80 also?
I am. I have every other Friday off.
Cool. So Megan and I basically rotate on days off, and then career development, so mentorship and leadership training, which is really good because let's say you're in environmental and want to start training to potentially be a surveyor, there are opportunities for you to move within the company to go into developing and the skills to potentially do a career shift over there. So the leadership training and mentorship training and stuff like that does work throughout, even once you get hired on with Caltrans. So a couple of things real quick that I'll go over before we get ready to head into the question and answer part. Transportation surveyor, just for those of you guys who are coming to the end with your degree, you'll see right here that there are a couple of different ranges and areas that you can come in with Caltrans, but it also does continue to show the level of growth that you can have. Range A through D, as you see down at the bottom, when you start at range A, you do need just a bachelor's degree in surveying or an LSIT/EIT. That will qualify you for range A. As you continue to grow and have more job experience, you can enter into range B, C, or D. But as you see at the top, for range D, you will need a professional engineer's license, a PE, for it as well. But this does show that as you continue to grow, you do not stay stagnant in terms of your pay or your job growth. It does help you kind of continue to climb up the career ladder with us. And then how would you apply? Megan had, or not Megan, but Jennifer had said that there's two differences. I know Megan dropped the UEI link in the chat earlier, and that would be how you would apply for the student assistant positions. But if you're looking to apply for the state position right away, you would go ahead and create an account on calcareers.ca.gov. You'll take the transportation surveyor exams, and then you'll apply for the jobs. It's can get a little bit complicated, but this is the simplified version. Megan and I do host a couple of webinars to walk people through the application process in a little more depth. If you are interested in attending one of those, go ahead and send Megan and I an email at askrecruitment@dot.ca.gov, and we'll either send you a link or we'll also get you a couple of different guides as well to help go in a little more depth with the application process. And then with that being said, we will go ahead and get ready to start our Q&A session. Megan, you have a couple of things in there that you kind of saw?
Yeah, lots of questions about the requirements of universities. We have a couple people who are studying out of state and they're
Okay.
wanting it to a master's program. So they're out of state. They're questioning the qualifications for our student assistant program to be able to work their master's. How would they go about doing that?
If they're out of state and they get into a university within California, because you have to be a California resident, or you have to be, yeah, you have to be a California resident. You have to be like studying within California, pretty much. As long as the school partners with UEI, which a lot of, if not the majority of schools in California do partner with UEI, you'll be able to simply apply for the position. Our student assistant positions only require 6 semester units. So as long as you're enrolled in 6 semester units and have a 2.0 GPA, you're good to go. With the schedule wise, I don't think Jennifer went over this part, but the schedule time frame is normally Monday through Friday, like 8 to 5. Is 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 are like the office hours, right, Jen? Like, what are your normal office hours?
Well, a lot of us go into the office really early. So
So you guys going like at 7:30?
yeah, so like today is 8 a.m. start, but most days it's like 6:30, and then some people go in at like 5. So it's
Okay.
kind of you too. You can go in at 9 too if you want. So,
Okay, yeah. See, so a lot of times you like if you're going to school, like Jen kind of said, like they're very flexible. So you can definitely obtain your master's degree. And I do know some people that have done that while being a student assistant for us. So it's possible. You just have to be at a school within California.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. So we talked about student assistant positions, we talked about volunteer program, and then we've also talked about full-time employment with the state of California.
Mhm.
So with that being said, we didn't really talk, we talked about the 3-step. We're getting some questions about the exam and what type of questions are asked on these types of exams.
So a lot of times these exams aren't they're not like school exams. Jen, you took the exam for before with like your other job, right? You were a scientific aid or environmental scientist?
yeah, scientific aid doesn't require one, but environmental scientists and engineering geologists do need them. It's
Yeah,
pretty much just like a survey, just like
yeah,
evaluating yourself, like how long have you
exactly.
been doing this or that. So,
Yeah, so it's not an exam. Like we hate kind of using the word exam, but it's more like a self-assessment survey. Um, a lot of times, I mean, some of them do require some technical questions. I will admit that there's a couple of them that do have some technical questions, but for the most part, a lot of them are just generalized questions, kind of wanting to know um, on a self-assessment level if you qualify for the minimum qualifications. So, like, how long have you done this? How long have you done that? Do you have experience doing this or that? It's nothing too much to stress over or to sit down and study for. It's not like an going after an LSIT or anything like that. So it's a little more relaxed than that. What I will say is though, if you fail the exam, you can't retake it for another 6 months to a year. So if you do have any questions or are a little bit nervous about it, you can send Megan and I another question at askrecruitment@dot.ca.gov, and we'll try to get you to a couple of other people in our Ask Exams department. Or Megan, you can drop Ask Exams email in there as well. And you guys can also send Ask Exams questions about the exam in itself. That's the team that will oversee the specific exam.
Got it. So this one's definitely one for you, Russell. We're being asked if I work as a transportation engineer civil, but I
Okay.
have a PE in electrical. Can I still qualify for range D civil engineer?
You're talking like somebody. So somebody has a PE, and
For
they don't
electrical.
they don't work for us.
I'm unsure. Michael, do you already work for Caltrans? Because as if I work, not yet. I just wonder. Got it. Well,
But
that's a
he
different.
has a PE, correct?
Yes.
There's a chance. Because the main qualifier to get into range D would require the PE. You wouldn't even be able to crack into range D without getting the PE. We would have to look at the rest of the minimum qualifications to see if there's any other like work job experience or years of experience that you would need to meet. Michael, do me a favor, send me an email and attach your resume to it at askrecruitment@dot.ca.gov, and then address it to either Megan or myself, and we'll look at that for you into a little more depth just to ensure everything looks good for you. Cool. What else do we got, Megan? We got time for about three or four more.
All right, guys, make sure to send in those questions. I got to go back in. Jennifer, you spoke earlier, it was in the chat. You said you could also write classes that are relevant to the position if you have no work experience in surveying. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so I was going back to the question about like what skills I thought helped me. So that was just a tip, another tip to write in classes that are relevant to the position if you don't have any like work experience.
Oh, so you're saying pretty much like your coursework, like you took you're
Yeah.
basically saying because let's say
Yeah,
you
so
didn't have a work experience, but you took classes in X, Y, and Z.
yeah, so I just put like relevant courses and like list them off and then like degrees and then like work experience, just so that there was some surveying on my resume, you know.
Got you.
Okay. And then do we have any specific just summer internships or are they all year round?
They are typically all year round. So whenever you see an internship or student assistant position open up for us, they're looking to fill that position right away, and they're looking to keep that position all year round. So when we went back, let me see if I can go back to so on the student assistant positions part. As you see, during the school year, we have intentions of kind of keeping our student assistants with us to continue to work on any projects that they might be on. So that way, we allow them to work up to 24 hours per week during the school year. because we know you have to get your degree. So you're still working towards getting that degree, and we want to make sure that you do get it. And then during the breaks, we open it up to 40 hours per week. So you will be not necessarily looking for just a summer internship or just a winter internship, but we look to keep our student assistants with us throughout the whole entire year, to let them continue to grow and kind of have that connection and ability to work on those projects and continue to see it through versus just summer and then it's no longer available and kind of a situation. Hope that answered the question.
Yeah, let's leave this up because I think a lot of people are having questions about those minimum qualifications. Robert just read your questions saying that your school is on the UEI list, but you yourself is not a resident. It is a requirement to be a California resident to apply.
So hold on, Robert, are you living in California?
Living in Texas.
Oh, living in Texas. So the school is in Texas as well. Then the school would, if the school's in Texas, if it's UEI in Texas, then no, you would have to be, your school would have to be UEI, and you would have to be living in California. And then we can go with one more question, Megan, and then we'll give everybody some time back.
Got it. So this one applies to applying for full-time position through CalCareers, land surveyor. And it's, can we still apply for range A if we don't have a LSIT or EIT?
Yeah, if you have the degree.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to come in with Caltrans, range A, as seen here, you see it says bachelor's degree in surveying or the LSIT/EIT. So as long as you have the degree from an ABET accredited college, you'll be able to qualify for it. It would just have to be in surveying. Now, getting the LSIT or EIT is just kind of another way. So let's just say somebody doesn't have it in surveying. Maybe they have the degree in, I don't know, let's just say geomatics or something like that, which might be a little bit different. But if they get their LSIT or EIT, they'll be able to qualify for it. And that gains them entry into the range A. Hopefully
There's actually, sorry,
Go ahead. No,
there's
you're good.
actually a coworker that was an AGPA, which is like an office manager, and he just got hired on as an LSIT, not SSIT, surveyor, and he hasn't gotten the LSIT, so you can still like apply and then just wait to take the exam afterward.
To take the LSIT exam?
Yeah. So like he's like on a TND. I don't know what the actual name is, but
Yeah,
basically,
the training and development.
yeah. So he still has a job, but just has to pass the test soonish.
Got you. So, and I think that goes in with the career development thing that we were talking about earlier as well, that, like you said, he went from basically office admin to training and development into becoming a land surveyor, but probably because he doesn't have a degree in surveying, he's going that route to get the LSIT. So that way it would qualify him to be a land surveyor for us, like you said, right? Cool. Megan, is there any more, or are we good to go?
We're all set. Again, if you guys have any more questions or if we didn't get anything or get to your questions today, please send us an email.
Cool. Other than that, we are good to go. We want to just go ahead and thank you guys for joining in us on our session today, and be on the lookout for a couple other sessions that we might have coming up.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.